Welcome everyone. It's a beautiful day outside, so I thought we would do another walk and talk. This time, let's talk about movies. I love going to the movies. I think most people do, but with movies becoming so expensive, concession stand prices ridiculous, movies are becoming less and less popular, and people are now opting for streaming services or just waiting for them to be released on home video. And there's just so many options, piracy, etc. People just, they don't go to the movies anymore, and that's why the ticket prices keep rising. And it's just an effect where in 20 years, will we even have movie theaters? Or will we have something else where we just see the big budget Avenger type, Star Wars type movies, and everything else is just streaming? I hope that never happens, because even as a kid, there's just something about going to the theater where you're sitting in the chair that may or may not be filthy. You're eating the most delicious popcorn ever popped. I don't know why that is or how they do it, but there's just nothing better than movie theater popcorn. The lights dim down. You get to watch the trailers, which I think everyone loves, at least I do. Even if I've seen them 10 times, I still love them. And then to watch a movie on the big screen with several strangers all around you, there's just nothing like it. I hope going to the movies never, ever, ever goes away, but I fear someday it will. AMC is doing their A-list program, and I think other theater chains do similar type programs, and I think that might be the way of the future. I still think it's a little expensive, but if you're a movie buff, the AMC for $20 a person for 3 movies a week, I mean, that pays for itself if you see 2 movies in a month for the most part. But anyway, I digest. I want to talk about a couple recent experiences I had. One was going to see Jojo Rabbit a few weeks ago, and I think this is why people don't go to the movies anymore. The people right behind us brought a baby to the movies, and even though the baby didn't really cry, it cooed and made noise like for 75% of the movie. I have no idea what kind of idiot people think it's a good idea to bring a baby into a movie and disrupt the experience for all the other people. How lazy do you have to be not to get a babysitter, or just wait a few months if you really want to see the movie? Just wait till it comes on home video. But that's ridiculous. I can't believe no one complained. I mean, we were close, because you're trying to watch an intense scene and you just hear, I mean, super duper distracting, and especially for a movie like that, which is rated R. It's just real inappropriate, even though the baby doesn't know. But for all those people who bring kids, babies to movies that are not appropriate for them, shame on you. That's ridiculous. And for all the people who bring out their cell phones in the theater, absolutely uncalled for. Put it away. If you have to take a call, step out of the theater. Also want to talk about going to a couple movies cold. And what I mean by going in cold is, I recently went to 2 movies, one last year, one just a few weeks ago, and I saw 2 movies that I knew nothing about. I never saw a trailer, I didn't know the plot, I didn't even know who was in the movie. The first one last year was called Hotel Mumbai. I wanted to talk about this last year, I just never got a chance to. I went with an old friend of mine from college. There really wasn't much out at the time. I think it was April of last year. And he decided, let's just go see this Hotel Mumbai. He had heard something about it. I didn't know what the movie was. I never heard of it, didn't know who was in it, didn't know the plot, knew nothing about it. So when I was sitting down, I didn't know if I was about to see a romantic comedy, a horror movie, a thriller. I had no clue. So I gotta say, this movie was one of the most intense movies I have ever watched. I was literally gripping the handrail on the seat. This movie was so intense. Basically about a terrorist activity that happened at this hotel. I don't know what year, but it was based on a true story. And wow, if you've never seen Hotel Mumbai, I don't know if it's available anywhere. I'm sure it's somewhere. Check it out, because that is about as intense as it gets. I mean, that was more intense than 1917. The second one, just saw this a few weeks ago. Another movie nominated for Best Picture of the Year and actually just won, Parasite. When I saw it, I had absolutely no idea what this movie was. All I knew, it was in South Korean, subtitled. That's it. I didn't know the plot. I didn't know what parasite even meant. I didn't know if it was about a disease, or I didn't know if it was a comedy, a thriller, a horror, nothing. And this movie, I said it in my Oscar video, was bonkers. I mean, I think the movie was amazing, and I think part of the reason I believe it was so amazing is because I went in cold. I knew nothing about this movie, and I came away thoroughly entertained. It was the craziest movie I've ever seen. Half comedy, half thriller horror. Don't even know how to describe this genre of this movie, but I loved it. So I would encourage anyone who's ever thinking about going to a movie, go see something you have never heard of, don't know what it's about, and just sit down and see what happens. It's kind of fun. So I think I've walked and talked long enough. I'm just getting some sunlight here, but hopefully we'll keep going to the movies and they never disappear, because I love it. I know most people love it. They're just getting too expensive. But anyway, I'll see you next time. May the adventure continue.